All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the movie The Descent. (2005's The Descent. Lee, have you seen it before?
I had not.
Really? That surprises me.
I was the only one that had not seen The Descent.
2005 is right in the pocket where I would have thought you'd have seen this boy.
And I've heard a lot about this.
Oh, it's
not
worth
like
hearing.
not details, but I've heard like, what, you haven't seen that? You need to see that. It's the greatest thing ever.
The Descent to me is one of my I always recommend. It does seem like people have not seen it because I've recommended it a ton, but it's a movie that I find is like oh, this is a genuinely creepy movie that I think can hit most people in some way.
Yeah, it's weird that I missed it. It was highly recommended, and I think it might have been overhyped for me because I did not love it as much as I expected to.
So you think you were a victim of the hype game?
Potentially, because it's been whatever. What's 2005? 75 years ago. It's been a long time. People compare a lot of other movies to it in the horror zone or something. You hear a lot of talk about claustrophobia and like whatever.
Sure.
And so I was like, I can't wait to finally see the greatest movie ever made. And I was like, that's all right.
I will say this is on my list of things when people say, I want a scary movie, I recommend this one because it does have the ability to hit a lot of people in what they might be afraid of. Like, it casts a pretty wide net here, and it's got something for everybody. Yeah,
we'll get into the details of the spoilers of various things that happen, but yes, definitely depending on if you the kind of things that scare you, I guess to use your term, it like delivers on that, I should say.
Indeed. All right, so let's not dilly-dally too much. We're going to head over to the spoiler section, so if you've seen this or don't care, follow us over there, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
So here we are for the spoilers on The Descent. So as we are in spoilers, I can say now, I really did have very fond memories of this movie going in. I haven't seen it in quite some time, but often when people say give me a scary movie, I'll be like, watch The Descent. Because not that I am a claustrophobic person, but this movie is full of nope, fuck that.
Oh, 100%. 1,000%.
So much I'm
a strange amount of percents.
I'm not afraid of enclosed spaces. I don't want to go anywhere outside of my house, especially things that are far away. So I guess I'm afraid of traveling. In quotes, where
I would not yourself as a casual agoraphobic.
Yeah.
I would agree with that for myself.
Oh wait,
as well.
I think I meant that when I said xenophobic. Which one's xenophobic?
Oh, there's gonna be a battle, all right.
When you hate Xena, warrior
my
princess.
God, no, I love Xena. No, I was totally wrong with that. But no, I would never drive out to the middle of nowhere to go into a cave to areas that I can barely fit through to climb a thing. Some of those things, they're climbing through, and I'm like, at the angle you're getting in there, to get back out, you're just dead.
So let's get this over with. Yes, I'm not claustrophobic either, but there was something about dying in a tiny cave that I find to be very distressing, and this movie delivers on a lot of that. Google Nutty Putty Cave. And you will find the story of a cave that is now closed. It is a man's tomb. It's famous.
I learned this in school.
He was given food, water, and a walkie-talkie to tell his family he was okay. But a pulley snapped, and he slipped back into the narrow crevice.
There's a diagram of a dude who spent over 24 hours trapped, standing on his head basically in a tiny crevasse, and it is a terrifying story in every way.
Yeah.
And there's at least one, if not 50 scenes in this movie, and they're well done, right? Because the screen's totally black. You just see one little light, lit area in the corner, and then eventually she crawls enough so that it lights up, most of the screen.
Yeah.
And you're just constantly resetting this thing. And they're going through this tiny little, and it's wet, and it's just this, I gotta crawl underneath and come back up. It's barely as big as they are. It's so terrifying.
So there's a character, her name is Juno. And Juno is a raging bitch.
We're leaving at 7. Don't be late. Try that.
Because she's such a terrible person. And let's not even count the fact that she actually kills one of her friends.
Accidentally.
Bringing all of your friends to something and telling them it's a Category 2 climb in a place that is tracked and known and safe and people know where we are versus taking them somewhere that nobody's ever been before, that you don't even know if these paths lead to something. That's so irresponsible.
Totally.
She's straight up a murderer. She murked everybody in this movie.
She arranged for their deaths.
And that's, like, there
it's very
happens to also be, like, a branch off of like, human society that became vampire night dwellers.
So there's cave people.
Yeah.
We should just, in case you don't know about the cave people, now you do. There's cave people in The Descent.
And I love one person says, they've evolved to be the perfect killing machines. And I'm like, they are literally the worst.
They pretty much suck.
They are blind, which makes sense because they like seemingly spend much of their time in this cave.
Yeah, it's totally dark.
They do have to hunt outside the cave to bring things in. It's not an ecosystem down there. But they do like bring in bears somehow by biting them. That's crazy.
At about the 1 hour mark, we meet the cave people. And that's where, for me, a lot of the movie kind of like goes downhill. And there's sequences.
They are creepy.
Yeah, no, there's awesome scenes of like weird
the way they
screaming
scurry and climb across things. We're like,
listen.
how are you doing that?
And they talk in clicks and like the close-ups of some of their stuff.
They're totally blind. And judging from what we've seen, I'd say they use sound to hunt with. Like a bat.
The movie's well done, so there's cool shots, either jump scares or just creep shots, because they have like a night vision camera, a flare, a glow stick. There's all these different interesting ways of lighting them or not lighting them to creep you out. It's really good. It's really well done, but the cave people are kind of lame and dumb, and I hate them.
For being blind, they also appear to be deaf at times. Like,
don't know.
there are certain moments where like it's like leaning on her actual head, and you're like, if you're blind, I think your sense of touch should be great. And shouldn't you like be hearing like the breathing or the heartbeat or the whimpering or anything?
Yes.
At other parts, they're hovering directly over two of them while they're just like doing nothing. You're like, I don't understand. But then they're also able to dodge like the pickaxe because they can hear it coming or something.
No, it's Daredevil style.
I don't know.
Activities here. No, and like I'm not even nitpicking it. I'm just, my impression was like, I liked the movie better when it was just a cave kicking their ass. Now with these dumb monsters and
I like the monsters. I think that's what's the 1-2 punch here, where I'm like, oh, any way you take this, it is horrifying.
Sure.
And there is a sequel to this movie. That if I do recall is even creepier than the first one, with like enclosed areas and bullshit happening and this and that. But I do like that they didn't skimp on how many there are. There's like, it's not like, oh, there's 6 of them. Like there's a lot of these nameless Batman creatures.
But in the wide shots, it's often like weird bad CG looking guys.
Yeah, but it's 2005.
Whatever.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, hire people and put them in costumes and.
I'm not sure.
Them.
Did you catch the budget of this movie?
I don't know. Probably smaller than. I don't
think
than
it had
feels
a very
like.
large. Yeah, I think they did a lot with a little here.
Definitely.
I really wonder about the sets themselves, because a lot of this, it's on a soundstage. It has to be.
Yes.
And like there's a pit of blood. There's all kinds of crazy stuff. There's like field of bones. Like this is it's a creepy feel of a movie.
There's a lot of heavy metal imagery going on here. Definitely.
I think what might have been a little better is if the characters were a little more different than each other, because at certain points when it's dark, it's very hard. Like the sisters kind of look exactly the same.
Now you make it look easy.
Well, you make it look hard.
As almost the main character when it's dark. I'm like, I can't tell them a different. There's like the punk rock Chris Angel girl.
Yeah.
Don't try and pin this fucking shite on me.
Like I know her.
Exactly.
Juno always stands out as her.
Sarah.
Sarah, look at me.
And then the only girl with black hair.
Have my moments.
You can tell.
But hey, when they put on their helmets and they're all screaming and stuff, I was getting people. I'm like, I kept looking like, wait, are you the one that has the thing with the hand?
What are you gonna do?
I need to dress the wound and rig up a splint, but I can't do that while the bone is protruding. I need to push it back in.
I hate you.
No, you're the other one. Okay, no, she's the doctor one, because now she's talking about doing doctor thing, right? I kept getting people mixed up, and it's because it's dark and
it
they
is
look
dark,
similar. I'm
and
sorry.
a lot of characters look relatively similar, especially when you put them in pitch black, cover them in helmets, then blood and dirt and bullshit.
Yeah, or just like one color of light, where it's all green or it's all red or it's all whatever, is very difficult.
I kept trying to mentally picture back to the photo, and I'm like, were there 6 or 7?
Yeah.
Because when that one yells and then it cuts back to this one yelling a different name, I'm like, is that the same person? I couldn't. I was like, there are either 6 of them or 7 of them, and I couldn't remember. There are 6.
There are 6. I should bookend that though and say I really enjoyed. It's actually super film school. There's when they get separated because one has the glow stick and then like it's cutting back to Juno and it's all like red orange light and then it cuts back to them and it's all like green and blue or whatever. And then when Juno runs into Sarah finally, there's literally a scene I think where half of her face is lit green and half of her face is lit red, like they're coming together. It's very. I was like, okay, good times, good times movie.
So I've already said I hate Juno for what she did by dooming these characters.
Yeah.
But do you think the murder is actually on her, like the accidental
No.
killing? I honestly think she's a victim of being a bad person by leaving her friend. Had she not left her friend and immediately said, "I'm so sorry, oh my God," and like tried to hold the wound, which you could not save her. She put a fucking axe through her goddamn head. The idea that she didn't die right away is ridiculous.
Yes, she looked super dead. Life is all at once very fragile and very tough, right? So I get it that she didn't die for a while, but I thought it was my like mild autism kicking in, but I'm like, is this appropriate? Am I supposed to be like, yay, get your revenge or whatever? Because like Juno was cheating on Sarah's husband or whatever.
Yes.
Right?
We all lost something in that crash.
But they don't say it in so many words.
It's
It's heavily alluded just based on eye contact and how things go.
She seems to have like figured it out or whatever, and that's a part of it. But we'll get to that a little more later.
Real quick before I forget there.
Yes.
You know what's so dumb? I'm dumb. But what I want to be like is when you look at the family there, you're like, clearly these two are having an affair.
Come on, Jesse, it's freezing. Let's go back to the car.
And you see the kid, and you're like, that looks like Juno.
Did it?
The kid
That would be amazing.
looked like it was her kid somehow.
Wow.
And I was hoping there'd be an explanation of like, oh, we actually dated, or this and that. That's my kid, or something like. But there's nothing. That's all me reading into it, and I happen to think they look similar, and it's funnier for me. I'm an idiot, like I said.
No, I did not clock the kid at all. But no, I didn't think Juno deserves, quote unquote, right, exactly what she gets. Because like I don't know, maybe it's too much empathy. Maybe it's the opposite of autism, where I'm like, well, she thought she was as good as dead and panicked, just like she panicked to hit her in the first place, and kind of ran away. And then when your friend's like, what about Beth, I think, right? And she's like, oh yeah, Beth is dead. And then, because like, what else was going to happen to her? You watch people get eaten alive right in front of you. Like, of course she's dead by now, right? So I would have probably said and done all the same things in this, hypothetical situation. So.
And it's not crazy to think that in that moment she wouldn't have been able to say, I accidentally killed her. She's got a lot going on.
Is I die?
Well, and like, in all fairness too, Sarah, like, Juno goes like sick mode, super sick mode.
Yeah, she does.
Sarah goes like super sick, too.
I'm ready now.
She goes one step further. So running into Sarah, like you could see Juno's face was like, oh shit, like she's gone even crazier. So you can't be like, oh no, I killed her by accident, but we're cool. Like you can't be playing like that. So the whole time I'm like, this is very plausible, and I think like, you know, she's like guilty in like, ethical senses or whatever, but not like, oh, you can take it upon yourself to just kneecap her and leave her for
No, and it's
dead,
very
right?
strange. And like, yes, she did use that kneecapping to get away, in quotes. But at the moment, I'd be like, okay, me and you just had this all-out crazy brawl where the two of us killed like a whole bunch of bad guys. Like that's before she stabs her in the leg. It's an amazing fight sequence where you're like, I don't know how this is even happening, because you're not MMA fighters, but you seemingly are like a little. They do mention Lara Croft at one point. And I'm like, Juno kind of is Lara Croft.
I made a joke alone in my room, like, wow, 3 of them have like auditioned to be Lara Croft now. This is great.
Yeah. I was very impressed, and like Juno impressed me at certain points before she be like, well, like, It's hard
How
to
do
say.
you mean?
She's,
Yeah.
Well, she's already not impressed me by dooming all her friends to this thing. But
Yeah.
but if you put that aside for a moment, like her resourcefulness of saying like, no, we're gonna need all these clips. I'm gonna have to take these back as I go. I'm like, yes, that is smart because you are the idiot that brought them to an uncharted fucking island here where you don't
Right.
know where anything is or what you're gonna need.
And she keeps the group going. She says,
Yes.
like, listen, we can't keep talking about it, though. We got to move. The cave may break land or ground or whatever. Let's just go with it. And
Yeah,
she
our
says,
lights are not gonna last forever.
Yes. Okay. We can't stop there. That reminds me, though, when they stop and they say, we need more lights, look at the stupid cave painting.
The mountain, the cave, and there's 2 entrances.
You are a fucking genius.
To be like,
Yeah.
look, there's 2 triangles. That must mean there's another entrance.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I was hoping as they left and the camera panned up, you would see like vampire people in the drawing, like this is
Okay.
our land. Like,
Yes, exactly.
'cause are we to believe that this is old enough that cavemen drew this? Were the cavemen what turned into these people over the course of a millennia here? Like, or did they draw it? And it could go in any direction.
Yeah.
I think it's a little crazy if you look at both of what the entrances were. So like they crawled through very small entrances to get here, and presumably if the cave painting is correct, there's only 2. And we really didn't see the second entrance. We just saw like a dream sequence of the
And
second
things may
entrance.
have changed. Those could be super old.
But what I mean is
don't
we
know.
saw a full-size bear in there. So like
Yeah.
you're like, how did you get that in there?
They drop everything down the hole, I guess. It
But then
doesn't
pull it through
make
the little
sense.
tiny cracks and crevasses. Like there are parts there that are very
Pieces?
tight.
I don't know.
You would never catch
Or
me
there's-
ever going into one of these fucking
Or there's
tunnels.
more holes, but they're high up because they can like crawl on the wall or something.
Maybe.
But I don't even need it to make sense. But that's like my complaint about the whole thing is I had a movie that I thought was going to be about this like mousy, like panicky chick coming into her own and then that meaning something and doing something or whatever. And it turned out to just be like, I'm going to get revenge on her, but not really escape though, I guess. And I'm not sure like what the movie is like about or like trying to say or something. It's
I
kind of
would have
left me
liked
hollow.
the whispering of Beth as she's dying and gives like the bracelet or the necklace, whatever it is, and
Yeah.
like she did this to me, she left me, blah blah blah. For her to also be like, she was fucking your husband. That kid's actually hers.
Kid is hers. What are you, blind, bitch?
She slipped it into your vagina. Because there's not really a good way of being a fake mother.
could
to someone
not
else's
know
kid.
you were the
You'd
mother,
think
right?
you'd
Unless
know.
there was some
Yeah,
weird
that's
thing.
why I say it's just an idiot thing that I like about it.
We've danced around it. Like that is an awesome scene when they get in the car accident.
Are you okay? You seem a bit distant.
I'm fine.
And
So
the
I
pipes
forgot
go
that
through.
completely.
Yeah, okay.
I remembered the rafting part, because I'm like, oh, these are adventurous girls. They set up this thing, and this is their next trip. Didn't remember her family dying at all.
Okay.
Like, at all.
Okay, so-
And, and
so
the
we're in
through
the-
line of, like, the dim light, like, leading back to this birthday cake thing with Jessica and whatnot, which, like, I kind of like, and usually that kind of shit really
was gonna
bothers
say,
me.
that's
but it
weird.
was something about how perfect the lighting was.
Okay, because I love that stuff, and I didn't like it here.
It makes sense.
Because
I liked it.
I don't know how, but we don't coordinate this ahead of
I
time.
know.
Because I was like, okay, you keep seeing the birthday cake, and then at the end you see the birthday cake, and then your daughter, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I did it, I'm back, I like made it or something. And then we pan out, and you are doomed in the cave. So you've descended and conquered your enemies and your like female rival for the whatever, and you've won. But I don't,
Yeah.
Sometimes when I describe the movie in very basic terms like that, I accidentally figure out the meaning of it or like what it's supposed to be. But I wasn't able to do anything here with that. I kept struggling. Like, did she win? Did she lose? Is it saying that if you go down there and try to do that, you always lose? Like, what is the point of this?
Well, I can't tell you what the point is, but something I really love is the layers of depth of her escaping and how far it got before she's ripped back in.
Yes, we're gonna talk about this ending.
She fucking gets it, gets out, treks the 2 miles from the fucking cave site, finds the car somehow.
Yeah.
She drove, so she knows where the keys are, drives fucking down, like fucking going crazy, and you're like, haven't you learned that speed kills? And just ripping through, pulls over, starts to cry, gets a jump scare from a fucking truck. And then, bam, sees dead Juno in the car.
Yeah.
And now she's ripped back into her actual reality.
So we watched the unrated international, I guess, full whatever edition, right? Maybe you're not aware.
I am.
Okay, so because the ending felt weird to me. So I immediately Google The Descent ending, and you have to scroll through a million, like the ending explained, and I'm like, I don't need it explained. I need to know like something's up here, and then I see like, oh, U.S. versus U.K. ending, like differences. Oh shit, awesome. And yeah, in the U.S., because we are dumb, it just cuts when at the jump scare, right, of Juno, and then elsewhere apparently, or at least in the U.K., you get this ending where it's the warm light in the cave and the birthday cake and the torch, and then it pans out and all that stuff. Yes, because the ending feels weird anyway. I can't imagine it if it had cut off there. If I'd be like, what? Like, yes.
The first time I saw it, it cut off there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a much different experience or something.
I think even like I have a full screen version of this movie, and I think the full screen version cuts off and the widescreen one doesn't.
Yeah, whatever's
one
US
of them is
theatrical,
unrated.
right?
I think one's not. I think the unrated one is the full uncut whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it stopping there. I would have been even more like befuddled with like, there's ghosts now? Is she just crazy? Is it about her being crazy? Because really early on, while they're still fucking around before they go into the cave at all, someone's babbling on and on and on about like
hallucinations.
Yeah, like it's so dark down there. You gotta be really careful. Blah 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 blah. You can like they're reading like a pamphlet. Like you can have symptoms including paranoia, hallucinations, blah blah.
Disorientation, claustrophobia, panic attacks, paranoia, hallucinations, visual and oral.
So I'm like mentally, just as you do, I'm putting these things all in my backpack. I'm gonna need them later, right? And then I'm trying to figure out like what is happening. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I do love, so the first time you see the monster, the creatures, whatever it is, it's this like little quick like, that she pans over and all of a sudden that darkness is not there anymore and you're like, wait a minute, what the hell?
Oh, whoa,
no, before that, when she first sees it with the light, there's just like a shadow, and the shadow like that kind of looks like a rock.
Trusted you. You told me this was going to be good for Sarah. Have you any idea what she's been through? No, because you couldn't get away fast enough, you selfish cow!
And then when she pans back, the shadow's not there anymore. You're like, wait, what the fuck is that?
I think that's the one that I didn't see when it's like dripping.
Well, it's kind of always dripping, so I can't say definitively, but I'll say yes.
There's a scene where she then says, oh, it was just dripping, I guess it's fine, because she hears something. She goes and looks. There's like a second scene when she notices something and goes and looks, and you see a dude, like a full dude. So there was a scene before that where I didn't see any cave people.
Okay.
Right? So
you don't actually see a person, you see like a silhouette.
Yeah, but so like I was.
The second time is when she sees the miner's helmet and she's like, bah, I think I saw something. You didn't see anything.
And Juno like jump scares her.
Yeah.
So I was in the same boat as Sarah, where I thought I saw something, but I'm not sure. Now I definitely saw something, right? So I took the exact same journey.
But I like that. I think that's like a great subtle reveal. You're like, what the fuck? And like, you are like, what the fuck is that? This weird fucking Holocaust survivors hiding out in the fucking caves? Like, what is that?
This weird pale, wet
the first
boy?
look is, it's distant enough away that, and like the way the light hits it, there's not enough features. You're like what the fuck is that?
No, the first time that you actually see it, it has that look, when like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, is that a pile of laundry or is that a killer monster? Like, what is this in my room?
Walking on a bike path tonight, is that a garbage or a hobo crouching with a knife?
What is this? Yeah.
Love that shit. So for me, like, being a rational human being who's not Juno.
Wait a minute.
I look at this stuff and I'm like, aside from just like, you could get stuck, and someone does get fucking stuck.
Guys, it's Sarah! I think she might be stuck!
I am stuck!
There could be a fucking collapse, and there is a fucking collapse. There could also just be gas. Like sometimes underground caverns, you can't go in them because you would die because you can't breathe. And they don't have oxygen and stuff. In fact, they are checking which way to go by using a fucking lighter. If it was like, oh, it's full of methane, you'd just be dead.
Sure.
Like just thinking about things we actually know about that we could rationalize and go like, oh, what are possibilities when going into a cave?
Like a totally unexplored cave.
Like, and not to mention like, these vampiric fucking night monsters. Like just normal things, like this is unexplored. there could be a bear or an animal or a fucking honey badger. I don't know, rabid fucking bats, anything.
So that threw me too because like Juno has a look on her face like Sarah has gone completely insane. She says, I think I saw something over there. Something like, she doesn't even say a person yet. She just says something alive or something like that.
I don't think I saw someone. I saw someone.
No, you heard something and you saw what you wanted to see. It's the dark. It plays tricks on people.
And Juno's like, oh no, bitch is crazy. And I'm like, wait, you saw bats earlier. Don't things live in places?
Sure.
Couldn't there be stuff living in a cave?
Don't bears hibernate in caves?
I mean, potentially not this cave, but yes.
But
there
in
could
general,
be something.
you don't know how many entrances and exits this thing has. There could be one that's like, oh, it's just touching the side right there, and he's right there. Like, it could be anything.
It could literally be anything. So yes, there was a little
Komodo
bit
dragons have been known to sometimes go into the mid-north of America.
That's where they do the clutches, eggs, and something.
But yeah, anything could be in there. So dismissing it, already ridiculous.
I did like the lighter and the breeze.
That one.
Oh yeah, that
was a good old.
Nice if you don't know that gas exists.
Yeah, you gotta do something.
You could just blow a feather.
Do they have feathers?
You would have a bag of feathers.
every spelunker.
They seemingly have limitless
bag
bags of all kinds of things, so I wouldn't put it past them.
They make a thing out of it though, like we only have the one rope bag and stuff. The whole thing.
No, they had 2 rope bags.
Well, one got left behind. Yeah, because they're like, where's the other rope bag? It's like, oh, about that.
Where's the other rope bag?
Where is it? We lost it when the cave collapsed.
Well, I love that bridge fucking thing that she does. Like she frees solos and like fucking clips, and I'm like, this girl is a monster. I love it.
So this is like an awesome thing. Just looking at me, you can tell I'm like a natural athlete, right?
Oh yeah,
I'm like unstoppable.
Olympics 2020.
Yeah, in all realms physical, right? I have no problems at any time. When I was a kid, I used to watch people hanging from stuff and be like, what is the big deal? And then finally some adult had to be like, do you understand that that's like difficult to do that? And I'm like, is it? Because I like never tried to do it in my entire life. And then I had to be like, oh shit, that's horrible or whatever. And that actress and Juno to some extent, they both sell it a lot.
Yeah.
Because she's like trying to thread a thing onto a hook, and then when she finds out, she goes, ah! Like puts it on there because she's holding on the one arm really, really tight.
Well, and the way that they're often holding in those like the way those crevices work is like they get their hand in there and just like make a fist and they're just hanging on their fucking hands.
Sweet.
That shit's insane. Like your hands are like ruined. When that girl when Juno falls and the fucking rope rips through her glove and cuts in their hand, I'm like, think about where you are right now.
No.
And this is not knowing there's any fucking evil shit coming. Just the idea that you're going to have to climb to save your life and one of your hands is completely fucked.
Yeah, no.
That's such a nope.
That might be the most visceral moment for me, all things considered.
She got it good.
We can get on some more, but the way it's bleeding and just raw and horrible.
From a friction burn.
And
that's
like
an insane cut.
And like the bzzz, like...
Rebecca, show me your hand.
The noise of it and everything. So I thought actually you were gonna say like F Juno because she had to show off and like collect some equipment and she screwed
that
up
was
her person's
responsible
hand and all that stuff. Yes.
But the way she did it, like honestly, I would have expected.
She wasn't really hot dogging it, right? She was just
no.
Things just break and things just happen, right?
Yeah. Well, what ended up the one that broke was the one that was an old clip.
Yeah.
She didn't do the right thing. She cheated and took the easy path and clipped into a pre-existing one.
What are you waiting for?
Which, like, you
had to save the thing.
I
gotta do what you gotta do. No, like all around, people were trying to do the best with what they had to get it done to save everybody, and something went wrong.
Yeah,
that would have been my take.
I can't say that she slacked off and clipped in that because at any time she could fall and die. There's no safety net at that moment.
Yeah, literally just die.
I like as many people died. It was like I'm like all right. So like the first person, just like the punk rock Chris Angel girl, just like jumps up and like bites her neck, and you're like, what's happening? Okay. What is this? This is how you attack?
So the cool girl, we'll call her Holly, I think, is her like leg is like the other visceral thing.
Oh my, yes.
Oh, that's fucking disgusting.
Not here, not now.
Which is terrible, but I've never broken my leg with a compound fracture, but I have had like a rope go through my hands, so I can more directly imagine what it's like to get the hand thing, so that hurt me a little more, but the leg is a close second. The leg
I would have written her off as completely dead.
Correct.
Because as hard as it might be to climb with the fucked up hand,
yes,
you could still do it. To climb with one leg totally fucked, Nope.
So I didn't like how quickly the cavemen like solve this problem for everybody, right? I think honestly I might have preferred a movie, maybe not with no cave people, but with a different amount or some change or something to do a little more cave stuff before we got to the something. I don't know.
It gets to like the 90% mark and you just get assaulted by a tribe of cave people.
I can't picture the movie that I want it to be. I just know that the first 2/3 I was really, really into it and really feeling a lot more than the last third. Right?
Well, I think
I'm not saying that it like ruins it, but it was like,
you're also like you like a straightforward movie, and like me, I like the wild card. Like this is the
like
Red Water
stuff.
to me, where like they're the shark. Like I like
compare things to other things.
I like that kind of stuff. I like just a little peppering of like, yes, this is your major obstacle, but this thing's here is gonna fuck you to the wall.
Oh yeah, I like different, interesting, random stuff if I like it. I just don't like it if I don't like it. Yeah.
That seems very bold. So, like, in line with the deaths, continue on that path here. Another one that's, like, pretty bad is the one sister that's gets eaten alive. She's, like, pulled back into the thing and killed. Like, right after they killed her sister, who got, like, an eye for an eye kind of death. Like, she's there hanging. And I didn't catch, either they didn't display it properly or I just missed it, that she didn't have enough rope to get across. Because, like, they like, clocked it immediately. Like, they showed up. She was so far ahead of them, by the way, that was able to, like, actually do this thing. And they're like, no, you don't have enough rope. You can't make it.
They're like, don't do it. Yeah, I don't know.
It seemed like that was the same size chasm as the last one. I don't know the actual issue. But it didn't matter because there was, like, a guy fucking Spider-Maning across the top.
Yes.
Which isn't the first time we've seen him Spider-Man, but it's always, like, a weird thing. So she, like gets her neck like ripped and she stabs it and like holds onto its back or something and they like it falls.
It like falls back. There's a whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, it was goofy, but then it didn't die. It was like in the water alive.
Yeah.
That part was strange, very strange. Because what are we to believe there? Like,
no, this is the
she twists the knife a little bit and it dies, but it underwater had better senses than it does on land.
No, again, like not to nitpick, but yes, this is the movie I didn't like as much. Where like you have to fight it underwater because that's scary, or it leans on your head like we talked about, or
that's goofy. Or it's like the fucking bridge crawl above them, and I'm like why didn't it jump down? Why was it just there?
Why.
And I was like, well, it's like the worst kind of death. Maybe it didn't know they were there.
It's a very specific kind of death, death.
Suffering succotash.
Yeah, like there's a part where, like even right in the beginning, right? Juno's, I think, like over Holly still, right? Because Holly's been like killed, and Juno's like, what? And her and a cave monster are like fighting over the corpse, kind of. It's sort of weird. The cave monster screams, and like another one, shows up and just decides we're gonna wrestle though. Does not bite her throat out, right? And again, I'm not that guy to nitpick everything, but I just, these cave-dwelling antagonists did not, live up to my expectations for the greatest horror movie ever made.
I wouldn't even know how they would be judging the threat level of something. Whether it's like I have to kill it immediately, I have to like you're judging it off nothing. It's a weird enemy.
Like when it approaches the watch, I was like, what is it going to do to the watch? How does it interact with its environment? Is it going to eat the watch? Like, what is happening?
I thought they didn't have noses, too. I thought they're
like pits or something?
Well, no, like some of them have full, like, I think like one of them that we saw really close up had like almost kind like the bad guy from Harry Potter kind of face.
Okay.
But I think everyone else has a full-blown nose, and I first really noticed that when there's like a baby one that like she stomps the shit out of. And then the mom gets all pissed off, and she looks like the hag from fucking Army of Darkness.
I was going to say, the female one definitely has...
she has a very pronounced nose. And then after that, I looked at all of them, and they're all kind of gobbly. They all have kind of like the big pointed nose and pointed ears and
pointed
shit.
nose?
Or like hooked a bit.
I thought big like John Bernthal, like big, flat, wide nose, I thought. Yeah.
The ones that
like
I took notice to right after that all kind of had that hag's-looking nose.
Interesting.
But maybe they're different. I may have stopped noticing once I saw one or two that supported my theory. But I literally had like a note like, they don't have noses. And then I crossed it out. I'm like, they do have noses.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, their design is like okay, it seems, the eyes look weird. That's cool.
Yeah.
And some of those tight shots, like when she has the camera and they're like there somehow and they're like, wow. Like show up in the
How
thing.
they don't know she's there?
I don't
I'm like,
know.
what the fuck? Are they deaf? Are they deaf, blind, and just lucky?
Okay, like I'm a scientist. I don't usually talk about it, but yeah, like echolocation I think uses like high-pitched or like higher-pitched things, and they communicate with clicks that are like short, like high, like things. And the camera would have a battery and like all the other stuff. It'd be, that would be like a big bright light to them, making like like a noise that they should hear. I don't want to ruin the movie though. And
No,
say
it
things
doesn't
like that.
work because
But
if
I'm
they
like,
can
what are you
dodge an
doing?
axe, they can dodge a ball. Like
I can dodge an axe. No, but like, but again, like we just wanted the cool shot of like, oh, she's crawling and then one's upside down.
It is cool.
Or like you've got the camcorder and they're there, and then in your head you're like, how close are they that you're getting this awesome shot? Like, shouldn't he smell you? They can smell, right?
Yes.
The
Well,
female-
I think at that point I was still into my assumption of they have no nose because the
Okay.
one she's the closest to zooming in, like the one that's like touching her with
is
the
the
camera,
flatter one?
had the flattest nose.
Maybe
yeah.
that guy's injured or something.
Maybe.
Because I thought that the female one is like smelling the dead one.
She did.
Okay.
Yeah,
to be
they
like-
have noses.
Okay. Well, even if you don't have a traditional nose, you would have
She
ways
sniffed
of
and realized it was dead.
Yeah.
Like she's like, oh no!
the same way flies know to lay their eggs.
There you go.
I don't know if that's true.
I'd say like the most like moment was like she comes across her friend who's now stabbed in the neck is
Yeah.
clearly should have died hours ago.
She's clinging to
and
life.
she has and a friend says kill me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, how can you even talk? You have like your fucking big holes to your neck.
No, please don't ask me to do that.
And she does, and I'm like, that's a brutal moment.
Yeah.
And that's probably what would have make you kill Juno, because you're like, you made me physically kill my friend.
Yes.
I have to take this out on you. But we don't even know if Juno dies. It's off camera.
Well, she's not making it out of there. Probably not making it out of there.
I know she's in the second one,
I was
but I
gonna say.
can't remember if it's a flashback.
I think they're
or
both.
not.
I think they're both in the second one, so I'm afraid. Sarah goes back.
I
and
will
Juno's
spoil
alive.
a different movie and say that the other girl is definitely in the next one.
Okay.
But I can't remember if Juno's alive or not in the movie.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Physically
like,
can't remember it.
I just, I tried to look up who's who in this to figure out if I knew people and all that stuff. And
Juno looks super familiar, and I don't know her from anything.
you know her
What do I know her from?
did you watch the?
You can't say I know and then ask a question if I know.
Well,
Against the law.
I know you pretty well. So this is like a big risk. We're doing this live. Did you watch the Beastmaster television show?
Oh, that's what she's from. Yes.
I'm gonna leave this place, and I'm never coming back. I want freedom.
Nice thoughts. But how?
Yes.
I knew you watched that shit.
Yes.
I didn't watch it, but she plays Kira.
Yes.
On the Beastmaster TV
Yes,
show.
she does.
And she
I
was
know.
like super young. It looks in
Yeah.
like the screenshots.
That's why she looks so familiar to me, though.
But all of these people, Sarah and Juno, both of these people have Descent 1 and Descent 2, like in their IMDb, like best known for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, is this just a trick? Are they just in the cave and it picks up and then it's like a cold open? You've seen the movie. I'm not gonna look at your face. But like something, I'm like worried about the sequel now that it's like, oh no, this sucks. What are we doing?
I
maybe
remember enjoying the sequel, especially because I was like, what the fuck could the sequel be?
True. Yeah. Better or worse than this? Would you say?
I would say it was on par.
Okay.
This one, I definitely liked it a lot more. I think my first viewings, like watching this as a younger person, I had a lot less questions. I just kind of enjoyed it for what it was. But I think like any movie, if you've seen it more than once, you're now watching it with different eyes. You're not taking it in as a story. You're now watching it more critically, going like, because you're not waiting on bated breath, like what's the next thing going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, so you're like, okay, so that's going to happen. What does that look like? Oh, okay, I've seen that now. Oh, that's not as good as I thought it was.
Wait a minute. You're like, all the things coming up. Oh, you did
Yeah.
that one or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's still worth watching, but
like-
it's definitely better on your first watch.
It is well done and it is impactful. It's got a bunch of jump scares that are like really effective and really well
yes,
done.
definitely.
Both like in the paranormal quote unquote part and in the like we're just spelunking part. There's still consistently timed jump scares. that usually would be a sign of like a cheap thrills movie, but there is like substance there. My issue, I think, is like the substance didn't quite knock it out of the park for me. Like the emotion is there when she has to kill Beth, and then like her face when she hits Juno's leg and like pulls back. The lighting is like Sin City. She has like more.
I actually wrote down Sin City comparisons.
She has like Morticia Addams like eye lighting, and she moves back into frame just to perfectly catch it. I'm like, oh, someone took a lot of care, like lighting, especially in these really dark cave environments.
I think there's a lot of care in general in this movie because like the feeling is there where you just feel uncomfortable through a lot of the movie, and it does have a great sense of tension. It definitely like it definitely keeps giving you tension, and there's not that release that you usually get from a movie where like there's like oh it's a joke or blah blah blah. It just keeps getting worse and sadder, and things happen and uncomfortable things and more bad things, and they go from like worse to worse to worse. As they are dropping friends.
Yeah, like on a second watch for me, I did key more into that. Like it's not just tension; it's like a sense of dread.
Yeah.
Because you're watching these things happen, and there's a bunch of careful stuff, like little glances and looks between the girls, and like at one point just like throwaway lines where someone's like, "Hey, come on, we're eating, stop doing that." And she's like, this cave's cooler than I thought.
Holly, you take a break. I just want to take a few more shots. This cave's a lot cooler than I thought.
And you're like, that's not the cave you thought it was. Like, oh no, like you start to, so yes, like well done, well crafted, right? I think I'm like a victim of hype at this point where I'm not loving it, but yeah.
He's loving it.
Was that the end?
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
I feel like roadkill.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion